It's not about doing everything. It's about focusing on a few things and building slowly. The goal is to be consistent and take small steps to build that momentum instead of biting off more than we can chew. We are officially at checkpoint number 1, month 1 out of 12 complete of 2024. Let me contrast that by saying we still have a very long road ahead of us. We are only less than 10% through the year, but it is so good to have these mini check-ins just to make sure you're on track. So please do not get overwhelmed or stressed if you're not in the right mindset yet with everything relating to the new year and fresh starts, because even though we have January to December, the truth is you can start your new year at any time. So whether that's February or April, don't feel like you have to be on the same track as everyone. The most important thing is that you are consistent and you are building momentum little by little. So what we're going to do today is just go through 5 tips to help you get your mindset on track for February. We're going to help you get organized and make the most of your planner for this month so you can begin February with a fresh start. You want to start the month by doing a quick retrospect and reflection on January. So carve out half an hour for yourself to just look back on the previous month and think about what things worked and didn't. So if you flip to your planner, we do have this laid out for you with a bunch of prompts so you can just fill it in as you go. But basically a few questions you want to think about is number 1, your goals. So if you did set some goals for the month, which were hopefully a subset of your big 2024 goals, did you achieve them or not? Get really real with yourself as to what obstacles got in your way if you didn't, what things worked and what things didn't. This is just going to help you understand where you need to pivot or make tweaks for the month ahead. And then you're going to ask yourself what things you'll continue doing next month and what things you'll stop doing. So this could be anything from habits. Maybe you slept in a lot this month and next month you want to start waking up earlier. Maybe this month you found that you spent a lot of time scrolling on social media. Maybe this past month didn't go exactly as planned and you end up getting more takeout than you wanted. Just think back, reflect on what things you really want to stop doing, and then think about what things you want to start doing. This could often be like an opposing habit to the one you're trying to get rid of. So for example, you are trying to get takeout less. Maybe something you want to start doing is going grocery shopping every week. Or maybe it's even deleting food delivery service apps from your phone. It could be as extreme or as simple as you want it to be, but the point here is that you're honest with yourself on how the last 30 days went. And then we've got some prompts around what you're most proud of and what your greatest lessons are. I think this is really good to fill in every single month and measure the micro change at the end of the year when you look at it month over month. And then this page is fun. We've got a quick review section for you to just write down some of your favorite things. So your favorite book, your favorite podcast, your favorite brand. Let's just hope you've got Acoshia in there. Your best memory. It's just a good collection of everything that happened to you in January. Then we've got the scrapbook page. So we've mentioned this before, but this isn't meant to be like super labor intensive. Obviously, if you have the time and you want to make it artistic and something really personal, I think that would be super cool to look back on, especially if you have like Polaroid pictures or things that you can print physically. But if not, you can also just write things down. Think about writing down some of your favorite memories, some of your favorite experiences, all the things that happened to you this month that you want to make sure you remember clearly. Because I think the months go by like this, and the next thing you know, you can't remember if something happened in January, February, March, let alone what year it was. So just marking it down is a great way to come back on this many, many years from now. Tip number 2, create your February blueprint. There is no better feeling than flipping to a fresh month. So your February blueprint is just going to be a summary of how you want to structure your month and your habits and your routines for the next 30 days. So again, here you're going to write down your goals. If you didn't achieve your previous month's goals, you might tweak them, you might write them in again. If you did achieve them, you might now take it one step further. Obviously, an area to brainstorm all of your to-dos for the month, and then your routines. So if you liked how your routine was last month, you might not find a need to change this. You might keep your morning and your night routine exactly the same. Sometimes it is important to tweak things, right? And if we know that something's not working for us, we don't have to try to stick it through and then get stuck. I think what happens sometimes with the excitement of the new year is we try to take on so much. So we set these big, ambitious goals for ourselves. We try to create these routines that are things that we've never done before. We might stick to it for just a few weeks, then we get overwhelmed, it's not sustainable, and then come February and March, we start to decline. We start to lose all of those good habits because we simply can't sustain them. We do not want to roll like that around here. It's not about doing everything. It's about focusing on a few things and building slowly. Even if that's month over month adding a habit, the goal is to be consistent and take small steps to build that momentum instead of biting off more than we can chew. So if you're already starting to feel burned out by the routines and the habits that you set in January, there is absolutely nothing wrong with minimizing that and creating a more simple, condensed version for yourself that you can actually be consistent with throughout the month of February and for the months to come. So this might be where you either layer in a habit or you take out a habit. If where you live right now, it's winter and it's cold, you might be sleeping in a little more than usual. You might have more indoor workouts versus outdoor workouts. Like there's just a good way to structure this month by month over the changing seasons. And then at the very bottom, you've got your habit tracker. So again, you might pull in the exact same habits that you did last year, because maybe for you, the first 90 days of the year, you want to stick to the same 5 habits and do it consistently. The point is that you are using your habit tracker, whether that is 1 habit or 5. And when you choose these habits, what I want you to think about is how it aligns to your big goals that you're setting for that month. For example, if one of your goals for the month is to write a chapter of a book that you're working on, one of your daily habits might be to write for 30 minutes every single day. That's like a direct correlation goal to habit. It's how you're creating the action for what you want to achieve. And that's really what these pages are for. You want to take your big 2024 goals that you would have set at the start of the year, and then you want to break them down into mini goals. So I would always recommend that when you're filling in your blueprint, you go back to your 2024 goals and you think what you can derive from this that is manageable and attainable that you can achieve in the next 30 days. Number 3, practice mindfulness. Especially if you are someone that is go, 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 it is so important to take the time to be introspective and think about why you are planning all of this. You've got this big book full of plans and habits and things you're gonna do, but don't forget the why behind everything. And that's part of the reason why we have these monthly mindset quotes. Each month has a theme for you to just read between the lines as you're planning your calendar for that month. I think it's really important just to remember this source of your plans or the reasons we do what we're doing. And there's so many different ways to practice mindfulness. That might be meditation, that might be journaling, that might be just reading a short passage from this or another book, just for you to set a theme and have an intention for the month. Whether that's forgiveness like we have here or a different theme altogether, spend a bit of time just practicing mindfulness. I think it's one of those things that if you get into the habit of doing every month, you will really come to appreciate the bigger picture of everything you're doing on a daily basis. When things get hard, the nitty-gritty of everything kind of rolls up into this bigger picture, and reminding yourself of that might just help you stay motivated for the rest of the month. Number 4, another good thing to do for the month is to actually look back on your important dates and birthdays that you would have set in the beginning of the year and just make sure you were carrying those into your upcoming month. So you might have forgot things that you wrote down here. This is kind of your yearly view, but then you might want to drag them into your actual calendar view. Again, another good way to keep on top of weekend getaways you have planned, people's birthdays, anniversaries, all of that. Again, just taking the macro to the micro. And number 5, try to create your own monthly reset. So we've got our weekly reset in here, but a good thing to do is just create a list. Maybe you use the back pages of the notes section, whatever it is, and just write down what things you would like to do at the start of every month to just make yourself feel organized and like you have everything together. So that might be doing a deep clean, that might be reviewing your finances, that might be decluttering your closet. There might be like staple tasks that you do at the start of every month. So it's good to have a list that you go back to. And this is especially important to do once a month because a lot of things in our lives do occur on a monthly basis, right? Bill payments, subscription, rent, mortgages, phone bills, a lot of things are on a 30-day cycle. So getting ahead of all those bills and being aware of what things are coming your way is a good way just to be proactive. And that's everything for today's video. We wanted to keep this short and sweet. I want to hear from you guys what would be helpful for you to hear from us every month or every week, because for us, our biggest goal is for you guys to be consistent with your planner. What would make us so happy is to hear you guys say that it was the one planner that you actually use consistently from the start of the year to the end of the year. And however we can help you do that is what we're all about. So whether that is monthly videos like this, whether you guys want more content, just tell us, because we are more than willing to give you guys all the info you need to help set you up for a successful year. So comment down below, keep us posted, send us an email, DM us. We're available. We want to hear your feedback. But otherwise, I hope you have an amazing February. Hope you are able to start the month on the right foot.